Hello out there, Foxes fans, and welcome back to yet another edition of the U.S. Foxes podcast, coming to you live, as always, from various time zones around the United States of America. I, as always, am your host, Matt Folks, joined this evening by two of my favorite people in the world over in New York City, Mr. Jason Becker, my co-host on the East Coast. What's up, bro?
How you doing? I'm here doing my best this week to channel the spirit of Anthony Craig James, better known as Tony James, who clinched survival for us on the last day of the season. In 1991, kept Leicester from dropping into the third division for the first time.
The vibes we're putting them out all over the place, guys. Superstition wise, I found a golf tee on Sunday. My wife and I joined a new golf club, and we were standing on the first tee box, and I looked down and I see a broken tee, and there was a blue fox on the broken tee, and I immediately put it in my pocket as a sign. So yeah, superstitions are high right now. How are they down in Houston, Texas with Mr. Jim Harris? What's up, buddy? You've got any superstitious stuff going on?
I don't have as good superstitious stuff as either of you, unfortunately, but I will try and channel my Steve Howard towering header vibes to just hopefully that shows the comeuppance of Leeds on Sunday and for the victory of Leicester.
I was going to say, Matt, these are desperate times right now. I'm glad you only put that tee in your pocket. I think there are some people who might be willing to stick it somewhere else just to ensure safety on the last day of the season.
Yeah, I'm definitely willing to do a few things. I don't know quite much about that.
I'm getting Pulp Fiction vibes right now about like people watch day
directly in the chest.
I'm ticking.
Yeah, dude. It's of course Leicester City, guys. So we couldn't have left it easy. There was never going to be a time where we could have been down, a couple of days ago, and this was all just a formality. Nope. We somehow managed our first shutout and clean sheet since November. However, we do not score ourselves. So we get a point out of the pivotal Newcastle game, leaving us in a position where now our fate is both in our hands and out of our hands. I guess for all of the things that could have happened, this is one that I didn't see coming. I guess we'll start with you, Jim. Newcastle and your thoughts on it. And here we are with one game left.
Well, if I may continue the reference of backsides, I watched that game with clenched buttocks the whole time. And that really was a backs to the wall, resolute, kind of first, what was it? Pretty much 60 odd minutes of just clinging on, hanging on. Johnny Evans literally kind of a walking wounded warrior at the end of his stint, and the woodwork intervening multiple times. I don't think there could be anything else that kind of could have happened that would have raised my stress levels higher, apart from potentially Timothy Castagna in the dying seconds creating Gordon Banks 2 from Nick Pope. And maybe ruining what could have been some sort of glorious underdog victory that we'd have been speaking about for years and years. And hopefully we will be talking about the point at Newcastle in May of 2023 in years to come, or even in a week to come.
Yeah, I think at one point our kit man was going to go out and hang a Leicester kit on the actual goalpost because that's how pivotal of a defender that the goalpost played for us. There were all sorts of things about that match that were a little weird. Whether you talk about the early card, could have been a red card, pretty nasty foul on Bouba, Jason, that had a lot of people up in arms. That wasn't the only controversial call that was missed during the day. Your thoughts on the performance of the boys? I mean, when you look at some of these stats, 23 shots to 1, 12 corners to 1, 78% possession to 22% possession. I guess you can look at it either way you want to.
Yeah, I think at this point you just kind of throw stats out the window. It's all about points and how many points you can get. And yeah, certainly lucky to escape with a draw. But we've needed some luck and haven't gotten any this year. And it was good to see kind of like just a total commitment to defending. Everson said after the game that they came to win, and it just didn't really seem like that from the way that the side was set up, but with everyone camped behind the ball for so long. But the effort, the desire, the heart was there. Stuff, all three things that I guess it's all kind of the same thing, really, but we really haven't seen a whole lot of that from the side this season, and saw plenty of that. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't, I don't know, we were really playing football, but the guys were willing to do whatever it took to claw out a draw. And when I think about the draw, I'm, going into the game was thinking, you might as well go for a win. So either way, you're going to need to win on the last day if you lose, and you're going to need help. But we got rid of an out. We got rid of an out. We've got Leeds really, would have to do something miraculous to get through. And now, Everton, a draw doesn't even get them through if we win. And I was thinking about, should I be happy with the draw? Should I not? I kind of wish that we'd been playing like this earlier and just doing whatever we could to pick up the points and defend at all costs. That's really what you have to do during a Great Escape. You have to put yourself in a position where you have to score as few goals as possible to win a game. You can't be having to score 3-4 goals to get a point or to get 3 points. And I don't know, psychologically, maybe it'd be a good thing because, had they lost, there'd been twice as much pressure on us on the last day, twice as much praying about other results. And, maybe we've got a little confidence back along the side and guys that are looking at each other and saying that they want to be there and fight for each other. Just wish we'd have done it a little sooner, but maybe this 0-0 ugly draw wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I think it would be super easy to get, and God, if you got on Twitter or Fox's Talk or any of those spots, you could find all the angry people you wanted to that have already, the season is done and over, and that was the most pathetic thing they've ever seen. But on the flip side, guys, this isn't like Wolves or Palace that we were playing, or even fucking Newcastle from like last 2-3 years. This is a Champions League team now, bona fide, that are playing the best football they've played in 20 plus years. They are a juggernaut of a team. You just have to look and see what they did to Brighton and other teams this year. They have forced their will.
Us twice.
Yes, exactly. So I think, all things considered, everyone would have loved Timmy to seal that and 1-0. But take the victories where we have them here, guys, because this might be the last time we're in this league for a minute, and we're still in it as of right now. We're still in it all the way up till Sunday morning, and we'll see what happens. And at least we're in a position, Jim, where we do kind of have some of it in our own hands still.
We do. I think that point was massive because it means that Everton have to go for a win. And I think that fills me with confidence, because if we win and they draw, we should be up. I think goal difference, I think the biggest thing throughout this sort of terrible run, it's chipped away, but it's not, we haven't lost our goal difference. I think even the Fulham game, we got, think about how much we got spanked, but then we managed to kind of get back a couple of goals. The second half in the Man City game, where we kind of got back a goal and we got back into it. So these fine margins could matter on Sunday now. And I think the clean sheet was huge. I think the fact that we could defend, but I think also for me, Matt, what was important was we actually were able to pull together some possession and some attacking threat once we changed the formation a bit, and like we really rode the storm. And I think I don't want to get too excited about Sunday because I feel like I can't get excited, and I feel like I'll be punished if I get too optimistic at this point. I think we all do, but we can with a West Ham team that's maybe got an eye on Europe. I think they've got quite a long break before they play anyway. At least this is not like Declan Rice's last game in a West Ham shirt where he has to prove a point. But like this is a team who we've had mixed results against on the last day. So, but like, yeah, I think we can at least go in with the win. We've got something to play for, Matt, to your point. And like, that's all we could ask for at this point right now, that we're in it and we've kept ourselves alive. And unfortunately it's now down to, 2 out of 3.
Well, we asked on Twitter for your guys' thoughts on where things are right now, and if you were nice enough to reach out, I'm going to butcher your name, Jason, so I'm sorry for this. It's Jason Pochinok, Pochyhnok, JPOG 1983. We'll just go with the handle. His feelings are, I would rather be Everton right now, not just because they're in a better position on points, but every one of their players are fighting for their Premier League lives. Leicester has half the squad who will be in the Premier League regardless of what happens this weekend. So kind of another look on it there. Do you want to take a shot at that, Jason? You agree, disagree with that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think so, and yeah, they're definitely in a better position. If I had to play devil's advocate here, I would say that Bournemouth probably, in the back of their minds, the people at the club would love a little bit of revenge against Everton. Everton did relegate Bournemouth a couple of years ago at the end of the season. Bournemouth have a fantastic record against Everton, so maybe we can bank on that. But also at the same time, Everton's there facing potential future financial fair play sanctions and maybe points deductions. And if you're a Bournemouth, you might think it might be better to have them in the season in the future. Could be one fewer relegation rival. But Everton, they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now too. Not looking good for Calvert-Lewin and Seamus Coleman and a few other players. So they may be missing a high number of players on Sunday. So the pressure is certainly on them. And if they screw up and go down one, if we go up 1 or 2 early, the mood could really change over at Goodison. So fingers crossed that'll be the case.
Yeah, they could. That's a place that will turn very quickly on them, and especially the position that they're in. I would love nothing more than to see a very sad Jordan Pickford. We're all cherry foxes on Sunday. Jim, what are your thoughts on that? You rather be in Everton's position, or you kind of like where we are?
I'd rather be in Everton's position because they have the points on the board.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be in Everton's position because then I have to be an Everton fan, and I don't think I'd want to have that at all. Jason said, look, they've had a few injuries. They've by no means sealed the deal. And so, look, I'd rather think about our own team and what we can do. And if we go all out and we get a result and we don't make it, but we got the win, at least we can kind of go down with our heads a little bit higher. I'm not going to say high, but at least we'll have shown some fight in the last couple of games, especially after we had the new manager sort of bounce-ish. It wasn't like a splat and it wasn't a bounce, but it was like a bit in between, right? But yeah, I just hope that we can build on that Newcastle result and not think, we did the job. We didn't do the job. So
yeah, we're definitely in a weird position where everything, universe wise, from our management to our ownership to our players all have left a lot to be desired this year as far as their professionalism and the way they've done their jobs and all things. And what should, I mean, if we're being fair about it, point to us being relegated the way that this has been run this season and done. We frankly, I hate to say it, but we do probably deserve to go down for all of that combined. However, that's not how it works. That's not where the league has worked out this year with the points. And by the grace of God, here we are with a chance to stay up in this wonderful league. And, if we do, we do. It's going to be interesting, to see what happens. I think it'll be just as interesting if we go down, see what happens to the squad as if we stay up. There's going to be lots of reckoning to happen, and I definitely think that it's going to be interesting to be a Foxes fan again. Late day drama is kind of our thing as a Leicester fan. I don't know how many American supporters are familiar with some of the things that have happened in the final day in this club's history. Some of our more recent fans might remember the Anthony Knocker Watford calamity that happened a few years ago. One of the worst days one of the most, just not even bad as a Leicester fan, but just an unbelievable thing. Like Michael Block, if you're a PGA guy and watched what he did this weekend, just an unbelievable sporting feat. And I feel like that's what happened with the famous Knockhart Watford penalty.
But on the other end of the spectrum.
Yes, exactly. And it just things that are just unbelievable, like you never saw coming. Jim, any other last day fun things that we've talked about besides Jason's background, of course?
Oh, trying to think.
Final day memories. I have some great one against Everton that comes to mind, and that was spent with Jason and Jordan. Not Jordan. I think Jordan was sick. Spent with Jason and the boys celebrating in the pub in New York.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
I wonder if we can think about the great win. That was the last game of the season when we won the league, and we kind of just strolled out. I think that, what was that, 5-1?
It was the Everton. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So when we were in New York for that, in the pouring rain, Andy King scores when Andy King scored that goal, the bar just fucking erupted because no one deserved it more. So that's a good one. What about you, Jason?
That was a good one. It wasn't, but that was certainly on the talk about opposite ends of the spectrum, compared to, we did have a couple of tough last days trying to see out that Champions League spot. Mm-hmm. So maybe we don't have the best record when the pressure's on lately, but
I'm also
none of that will matter if we can somehow get it and put the pressure on Everton and see them crack.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about the last time we were in the relegation spots and had to have something on the last day of the season and we didn't do it. And I'm thinking 2008 against when we got relegated.
When every result went against us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we drew. We needed to get we needed to get 3 points, I think. So kind of a similar spot to Sunday.
Well,
in a way, but,
hopefully we're due. Just that combined with the Naki, and maybe we're just due for some last day glory.
Yeah.
I think that would be wonderful. Let's jump back into the Twitter and take a look at some other things. Tony Wilson at Wilson Bone, longtime friend of the pod. He asks, what is better for the club? Relegation, reset, reload, build, or stay up and lose top players and struggle again next season? A bit of a quandary. I know I would love us to stay up for next season, but would it just be denying the inevitable? Jim, you want to jump on this one?
Yeah. Hey, Tony. Stay up. I don't think there's anything that's not stay up as the answer. I don't feel. I feel like next season could be a real struggle. This is not kind of like a Newcastle getting relegated and then winning, cruising the league, or Villa when they got relegated, rebooting them, and even this is I think I very much worry about our bounce back ability. I think that's a phrase that's been knocked around for a while. And with just the team going and being able to rebuild a team, like I think, and who we could get in, is just like there's too many unknowns for me. So I think if we can stay up, I feel like if we can get a new manager in, there's talk of Potter again. There's talk of, do we go back to our sort of DNA of what made us sort of a better team? I think maybe some of the players that we've lined up or have been targeting potentially see this as a blip, and we'll clear out our wages, and I think there'll be less sort of high wages, low wages, or just blanket high wages, I think. So we'll see. But stay up for me.
Yeah, Jason?
Tony, my man. Hopefully see you soon. But yeah, that's a good question. It's something I've kicked around actually quite a bit lately, and I don't know if I have the answer. For a while, I was leaning towards it might be best to go down and kind of rebuild and in many aspects of the club. And I think the relegation would be, it would be an abject failure, and I would imagine that there would be some serious consequences for or I guess I would hope, even though I don't wish the worst on anyone, that there would be some serious consequences. But at the same time, like Jim said, there are a lot of unknowns, and not just thinking of the squad and the players, but I also think about some of the really good folks that are there working at the club, and the possibility that their jobs could be in jeopardy when there are good people working at Leicester City Football Club who don't deserve that to happen to them. So we have loans out. We've taken out loans against future Premier League winning TV money and winnings, and had to kind of rearrange those now to add parachute payments to put up against those loans. And when you're in a position like that, and the money, you can get away with that while you're promoted, because you have that future Premier League money coming in. You're getting a lot of cash in. And if we get relegated, the only serious cash we might get in is in the form of some player sales. But there's no guarantee that we go back up. And, it could be a very, very long time before we get promoted again. So I think it comes down to money, unfortunately. I don't mind being in the championship. I, enjoy the division. I have lots of friends who support other clubs in the second division. I would love to go see some grounds in that division next year. But at the same time, thinking about the health of Leicester City Football Club, being in the Premier League and not losing that status is could be vital.
Yeah, it's really hard to see. I mean, I can't even think, and especially because we have a new loan as recently as 2 months ago. I think they took out another one from the Vampire Bank. I think that's right.
I don't know if it was a new one or if it was just a kind of a renegotiation of an existing to kind of put up those parachute payments against. But I could be wrong. So
yeah, it's nothing is clear. Nothing is clear. Let alone
either way. Sorry, Matt.
No, you're good.
Yeah, either way, there needs to be a serious clean out. Either way, the wage bill is too high. Either way, the squad is bloated. Either way, we're not promoting enough out of the academy, and either way, we don't have the academy on the same page as the senior team. No matter what happens, if we stay up or we go down, no matter what division we're in, we have to kind of reassess, the profile of players that we're bringing in. Do we need, certain types of characters in the squad now? We need more physical. I think we need more athletic players up and down the squad, and we're missing that as well. So no matter what division we're in, I would hope that we see a very different Leicester City kind of emerge from these ashes, so to speak.
Yeah, I think, although, talking about the championship and toughness, the idea of Suter and Hamza just beating the shit out of people week in and week out, it's not terrible.
I could enjoy watching that on on Saturdays and the occasional, Mondays and Tuesdays for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, Tony, to basically just wrap it all up for you. I think you did it perfectly, Jason. Like, being in the championship is not like the abject problem that we have. It's the consequences of going down financially that could absolutely devastate and wreck the club. So
I mean, I know people who firmly believe that we should, the best place to do this still is to go down. It's a really good consideration, and I think if you ask half our listeners, if you ask all the listeners, or everyone who is a Leicester City fan, I think half of them might say maybe we're better off.
Yeah, and I think it's just because facts, right? Like, I think half the listeners, or 90% of the listeners, have been resigned to us going down now for 2-3 weeks and are just trying to accept the possibility. The fact that we even have a chance, guys, going in on this final day with 31 points or whatever the fuck we have is just mind-blowing. It really is. And when you're talking about the good people that work for this club, and just the unfairness of the fact that, the people that have done great jobs, the kit man, to the ushers, to the people selling pints and beers, that are then unfortunately the people that get the have to pay the bill when we get relegated.
Well, listen, I mean, we wouldn't be in this position if up and down the club there weren't issues, right? And there weren't people who maybe weren't doing the best job, and you can talk to people about their match day experience too, and you may get some very mixed reviews of how fans have been treated, and how fans have been treated on away games during away games too, and kind of the surveillance that's gone on, and the ticketing issues, and etc. So there is just I think in some ways we're starting to see a growing. We talk about the football side of things. We also, I think, need to think about the connection between the club and the supporters again, because I think we're starting to see, some fissures there that, when the outside world looked at Leicester City for so many years, it would everyone else would see a united front, and a club that like truly cared about its supporters, and really tried to encourage support to build an atmosphere and do all of that. And we're seeing lots and lots of cracks in that, I think, throughout this season. And the fact that the football hasn't been good, I think, has only amplified some of that. But there are still plenty of, very, very good people working for the club, and some that I know personally and would not want to see, impacted by a relegation.
Absolutely. Jim, you right in the same wheelhouse there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Jason made spot on great point of like, this is more than just the players on the pitch, and there's a whole family behind it. I think it'd be nice to kind of see the club go back to that. I think there's a view that if we go into the championship, I guess, does that kind of bring it closer to the community, and does it kind of make it a bit more oneness? I don't know if we still have a bit of imposter syndrome in the Premier League, even though, we've won the league, we've come fifth, we've done all these things, we've won the FA Cup since we've been there. I think there's always a bit of, as a Leicester fan, you think, how long am I going to be able to enjoy this? And I think, like we said in the last pod, we've been able to enjoy it since, 9 years now. And I think there's a bit of, we're resigning ourselves to, okay, we get ready for it. But if it can be a springboard, I think that's great. I do worry about the number of contracts expiring, the number of players still, like I said. So even people like Hamza, his contract expires at the end of the season. So
we signed him to a 1-year extension before we sent them out on loan. So
I think that was that. Okay, because I think they've got a.
So he's got 1 more year on his contract after
maybe the sources I'm using are not right then. So I'm kind of seeing that, but you've also got, we've got a ton of players. Hey, maybe George Hurst will sign him for another and he'll come and smash some goals in. Who knows, right? But yeah, I think it's like, who do we keep, even though the people that are on contract, Jason, you mentioned, like, if we go down, we're probably selling Madison. For sure.
We're selling him.
I think he's going to go.
He's gone regardless. Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's playing against his parent club last night. No, I think the one thing was like, Yuri put in a shift last night. He actually, I thought he ran his ass off, and it was interesting seeing him anchoring.
Did he run his ass off, or is it just like, he's looked so shit for so long?
Maybe things are relative to how he's been. So, but I felt like he did. But like, I worry about people like Barnes. I don't want to lose him as well as Madison. And like, he kind of made a difference, I think, but I think he's also probably too good for the championship. Like, Pereira probably is a saleable asset if he can stay fit, but I feel like he's sort of player that would stay just for one season. So then, you've got Castagna. We've got to hope that Justin will be back, and we'll have we'll have back to our kind of, wow, we have too many fullbacks. Probably a season in the league for Christensen might be good in League One. Sorry, in Championship. I'm old school, First Division.
Yeah, don't bring us down to League One just yet.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit. So I think that's like the stuff that we need to think about, but I don't want to think about it right now. I want to think about beating.
I
think about.
I don't want to think about a season without Tete, man. That's just going to be too.
I know, yeah. Like,
speaking of, I'm gonna have a go. Sorry. We've got I got dogs here. I've got a Tete jersey if anybody needs one. It's in perfect condition, been worn once. Might be a perfect giveaway.
You've probably sweated in it more than Tete has sweated in it.
Yeah, that was an interesting bet that I made that has not worked out that
I guess if we think about this, no matter what happens on Sunday. And look, first, I know this wasn't the deal, right? We weren't offered this. No one, we didn't make a deal with the devil for this. We didn't know that this was going to come. But if someone had said to you, hey, this is what the 9 years in the Premier League are going to look like, and you're going to have a great escape. You're going to have Esteban Cambiaso play for you. You're going to see Jamie Vardy, Riyad Mahrez, and N'Golo Kante take the league by storm and be three of the best players in the league. Jamie Vardy is going to go down as one of the greatest strikers in the league's history. We're going to get a couple of, trips to Europe out of this. We're going to win an FA Cup. We're going to have a semifinal in Rome. And Jason, you'll get to go to that. I think if you look at a lot of the clubs that will even stay in the Premier League, they would people would rip your arm off for that deal. And we've got to see things, and we've had some highs that very few fans of the sport have gotten to experience, and it's something special. So no matter what happens, we'll always have that. Certainly doesn't get rid of the disappointment, but at the end of the day, I think, we still have had some incredible experiences together as supporters, and we still love the club, and we still enjoy watching games together and being together and, sharing in those moments together. And that doesn't go away. My friend Jack, one of the big, strong Leicester boys, I think, he had a line that said, for him, football is about moments. Maybe a little bit of a simpleton take there, but I think he's right. I think, at the end of the day, we're doing this because we love the club, but we share something together that we really enjoy, and we really enjoy doing. And I'll keep doing it. If it's in the championship next year, it's in the championship next year. If it's at a semifinal in Rome 2 years later, then it's in a semifinal in Europe. So,
yeah, the bad makes the good taste that much better.
Mhm.
And Lord knows, as Leicester fans, guys, we've tasted plenty of bad. And so it's been a fucking miracle run when you step back and just look at where we've been and where we've come to.
Mhm.
It really is. You have to pinch yourself. So we just
Yeah.
stay on this bike, right, Jimmy?
Exactly. And it's not like last time we were in the championship and you've like got one game of Blue Moon. If you know, for the US fans, it's not like being in
Right.
League One when we had to watch the grainy Setanta subscription in 240p when you thought, is this game raining or not? And it wasn't until the highlights later that you realized it was
The rain.
you know, think about, so look, we'll follow the team, as you guys said, next season regardless. You know, hey, look, we'll hopefully see some wins if we're in the championship, you know, lots of them. And you know, will it be a Jamie Vardy return to the championship, recreating the record season, smashing in goals left, right, and centre? If we get relegated, Jamie Vardy turns up with a shaved head with a little, you know, faux hawk down the middle of it, I'm going to be pumped for the season. I'm going to be pumped for the season, whatever happens. You know,
Fleetwood Vardy is back.
exactly.
When we started the New York Foxes group, we didn't actually, get it started until 2011, but, some of us have been fans for a bit longer. And there were times we'd all, get together and meet up and then realize like, oh, there actually isn't a stream of this game today, and, figure out something, and someone fire up a laptop, and then there we are sitting around with, with some pints and listening to a stream of the game, or sometimes catching some dodgy stream and watching. And, we did that, at a love, but also, you're part of this community, and, you like, it's a lot better to watch with other people than to, be stuck by yourself at home. I just thinking about that, Sunday could be great. Sunday could be really sad and tough. And I think no matter what happens, I would encourage supporters from around the country to, get together and meet up for it and watch it together, because it's a kind of experience that might gain you a lifetime friend, someone that you went through that day with. It's a type of experience that might be what starts a supporters club, in your area. Or, you might have someone to jump around with, and, throw a beer, like pour a beer down and just jump around and, act silly. And it's always a lot more fun to do that with someone. So I think it'd be great, around the States, for American and expat or wherever you're from. If you're a Leicester fan, you're based somewhere in the States, to try to find someone and, or try to find a place where some other people may be, who are living and dying with every kick that day, and keeping an eye on what's happening in Goodison, and watch with them, and let's see what happens.
Absolutely, guys. I mean, it's just like you said, Jason. Like, it's on bar to be one of the greatest days in Leicester history. I mean, straight up, this day, everything goes right for us. We get a win. It would be one of the greatest games and days for us, as far as survival, as far as just sheer craziness, man.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be just a horribly deflating day too. But I'd rather go through a deflating day like that with other Leicester fans around me than kind of home by myself.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure. And guys, we want to help facilitate that. So if you're sitting somewhere right now in Omaha or Iowa City, or I don't know, I'm just picking random towns here, and you're like, God, I wish it would be really cool if I could watch this game with somebody. Use that hashtag US Foxes, add us, and we would love to retweet it and say, hey, if you guys are within an hour of Iowa City, if you're within 2 hours, Iowa City, Eric is going to be, starting the Iowa Foxes. This is gonna be the first meetup this Sunday. What a day to do it. Guys, please reach out. We would love to put you in connection. We had some people reach out today about watching a match in LA. Shout out to Pipes for helping facilitate that. We were able to give them a location where they can go watch a match. Yeah, I'm biased, obviously, but I will always say this: it is the greatest community of fans in the world. My best friends in the world are because of this club. It's insane, and frankly, it is like you said, Jason. The good times they're fleeting, but they're just so much better with people around you, and the bad times the exact same. When it's super sad, it's very helpful to be able to just put your arm around your buddy and tip back that beer together and just say we'll get them next year. So anywhere that you guys want to go and meet up, make it happen. Let us help try to facilitate it. Shoot us some messages and we'll see if we can't get you connected with 2 or 3 people. Then you guys can have a great Sunday as well. Before we go, though, and get mentally ready for this giant match Sunday, I did want to take a second to give a shout out to the LCFC grounds crew team, who once again have claimed the award for the #1 ground of the entire season. That's something we've known a long time in Leicester, that we have the best ground crew. John Ledwidge and his team just do a insane job year in and year out. So much so that the league had to make a rule a few years back. If you guys remember our incredible pitches that were making Man City and Liverpool look like mud pits, the league then, nicely changed it so they couldn't do our cool designs anymore and our beautiful pitch patterns anymore. So to make it boring, but we still have the best. Even with the boring patterns, we still have the best boring patterns in the league. So shout out to the grounds crew who make that thing just look like the most beautiful green carpet on planet Earth week in and week out. So yeah, shout out to John Ledwidge and the boys for yet another great job over there.
Good crew too of men and women doing that job too. Really good people, really good folks to be around. Hopefully we can get out and see them soon. And if we're doing shout outs too, I gotta give a huge shout out to Leicester City women right now, because they're also in a similar situation where it's coming down to the last day, but they are in the driver's seat, have a more favorable matchup than Reading. Really, we're up 2 points on Reading going into the last day of the season, but Reading does have a better goal difference. So a draw combined with a Reading, if we draw and Reading win, Reading would overtake us and we would go down. But we're playing Brighton, who's just above us in 10th place. Reading's in last place in 12th. And they are playing the league leaders, Chelsea, on the last day. So our girls are still in the driver's seat. I think they've shown just awesome levels of fight and determination and grit and all the things you want to see, in a relegation scrap. They're out there scrapping. They really are. And so that game is on Saturday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Should be available to stream all over the States for free. So let's start the weekend off right with our girls staying up, and then let's see what the boys can do on Sunday.
Hell yeah. Set the tone, ladies. We have all the belief in the world in you guys. We know that you'll kill it. We know that you'll make us proud. And we know that you'll give everything that you have out there. And really, that's all we can ask. So, yeah, shout out to our boy Harry McLean, the best kitmate in the world, with the LCFC women as they fight for their lives as well this weekend. On that note, guys, give it to Jimmy. Anything final that you want to say to the people before we send them off before another fun week of Leicester football?
Keep the faith.
Excellent. Short and sweet. Love it. Love it. Jason?
I don't know. What do we think? Do you think this happens this week? I don't want to tempt fate. I'm not going to jinx anything.
I know. I tell you, man, it's just, it seems I'm feeling positive, and I'm usually not that guy, but I'm just feeling like everything seems to be coming together. And we've got a good Bournemouth friend in San Diego. He's the San Diego Bournemouth supporter group. It's he and his girlfriend, Great guy. So shout out to Aaron. I'm hoping he can do us a favor. I know he'll be at the bar with us at the Bluefoot. And yeah, I'm feeling good, guys. I really am.
Okay. I'm going to try to ride that wave of San Diego, Southern California, Pacific Ocean optimism.
Let's go.
And take that into the weekend for both the guys and the girls.
Hell yes. Jason, tell the fine folkses that are within a 3-hour drive of New York City how they can join you on Sunday.
Get to Manhattan, get to Football Factory. It's on 33rd Street. It's right across from the Empire State Building. We will be there. Kickoff is 11:30. Try to get there a little early if you can, because everyone's playing at the same time. It's going to be a wild day at the factory, but we will be there. And we will probably be there for a while, no matter what happens at the end of the day.
Yeah, playing for a long day. On the opposite side of the country, guys, if you're within 3, 4, 5 hour drive of San Diego, California, and want to spend your day with the San Diego Foxes, you should head to the Bluefoot. It is in beautiful North Park, San Diego, right by Balboa Park. We are going to be doing it pretty big over there. The Bluefoot is. They're going to be having a Woodstock. I think they're calling it Footstock. We're going to have DJs. There's going to be live music. There's going to be more TVs than normal setup. It's going to be crazy. So yeah, same thing, guys, on the West Coast. If you want to come and hang with us, we're going to be there all day. I'm going to be there very early. I'm going to be at I think kickoff for us is 8:30. Is it 11:30 on the East Coast?
11:30 East Coast.
Yeah, so 8:30. We will be at the bar. I will be at the bar at 6 a.m. if you want to get there crazily with me and join in the fun. We're going to be doing it big. So wherever you are, though, in the country, guys, find someone to watch this with.
Matt, you just sorry. Speaking about a 3-hour drive, and you said Balboa Park. Kind of, Philadelphia is certainly within a 3-hour drive of New York, and if you are in South Jersey, if you're in the Philly area, look up Philly Foxes. They will definitely be out, and they would definitely be out there and having, trying to make the best of it and having a rowdy time together. So definitely look those up if you're in the Philly area. They will be out, and they're just an awesome bunch to hang with and watch a game with.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Ben and CJ, you legends. We love you, boys. Great turnout on Monday they had on a Monday, guys. Getting a turnout like that against Newcastle was incredible. So yeah, shout out to our boys in Philly. I'm sure the Ohio Foxes will be doing their thing in Columbus. If you're near Ohio, want to join up with them, make sure to hit them up. Any other ones that we missed, guys, please send us some.
The Dallas Foxes with Paul and crew will be there.
Okay.
And then I know that's 4 hours away for me, but if there's anyone in Houston that wants to watch, like, tweet us as well, and I'll
hit up.
Come out of my hermit cave to meet up.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. But yeah, guys, any other supporter groups? If you're having a meetup, please shoot us a message so we can retweet it and get you some numbers pumped up, because we need all hands on deck for this crazy final day. It was always going to come down to something like this. Nothing can go easy for us, the boys. So we can just keep the faith and hope for the best. Shout out to our fourth co-host, not with us tonight, running the show from behind the scenes, Mr. Chris Warner. We love you, buddy. Can't wait to see you Sunday.
Sir.
And on that note, guys, for the final time before a match this season, everything else will be reviews and preview shows from here on out. So hold your breath, cross your fingers, wear your lucky jersey and socks, and hopefully we get a result on Sunday, guys. Thank you for joining us on the US Foxes podcast. As always, you're the best. And we'll talk to you next week, hopefully with some good news. Peace, boys.